The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, e be like say get one spirit wey don dey worry am. Election when he just win, they just elected him for the third time as the Speaker of the House of Assembly. The first bill Mudashiru Obasa thinks he wants to propose is a bill that divides people in Lagos. He wants to propose a bill that is going to favor some people in property lines in Lagos. He calls them indigenes. He wants to create a bill that is going to favor some language people. He calls them the Yorubas. And according to him, Lagos is a Yoruba land. So they should work on retrieving some property rights and calculating who to give some property rights. Now, this gist na gist wey I don dey hear before, but I no fit talk am. Based on the fact I have not heard it from a reliable source, and he has not said it himself, but he came and on the floor of the National Assembly, he decided to talk about something that is contrary to the constitution of our country. Let me play you the news.
There have been mixed reactions trailing the proposed legislation by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, which will make laws in the areas of property and the economy to protect indigenes of the state. On Tuesday, Obasa was unanimously re-elected as Speaker of the House after the proclamation of the state's 10th Assembly by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, making the third consecutive time that Obasa will occupy the position. In his acceptance speech, the Speaker said Lagos is Yoruba land and that laws passed by the Assembly will now be translated to Yoruba language. He also stated that the Assembly will ensure that laws are made to protect the interests of indigenous people of Lagos, and that lawmakers will reverse all that is reversible to protect the interests of the indigenes.
Lagos is a Yoruba land, as against assertion of some people that it is no more land. Therefore, part of our legislative agenda is to ensure that the translation of laws passed by this House to Yoruba language. We also aim at achieving our collective goals of creating a robust legislative framework that protects the interests of our people. Going forward in this way, we are going to employ all legislative instruments for the support of the indigenes of Lagos State.
Well, the pronouncement has generated mixed reactions after the rhetoric, Lagos is no man's land, heightened tensions during the just concluded elections, with reports of intimidation and harassment of voters rife across the state. The Labour Party governorship candidate in Lagos State during the elections, Gbadebo Rose Vival, in a circular posted on Twitter, described the proposal as an attempt to jeopardize economic development and individual empowerment of the state. His statement reads in part, "As a politician deeply committed to upholding the principles of fairness, equity, and justice, I strongly condemn the comments of the Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly for considering a bill that seeks to reverse property rights in favor of indigenes at the expense of the constitutional recognition of citizenship. This move not only undermines the fundamental rights of individuals, but also poses a significant threat to the principles of inclusivity and social cohesion that our great nation, Nigeria, stands for." He further stated that by considering this regressive bill, the Speaker disregards the spirit of the Nigerian Constitution and perpetrates a discriminatory system that divides our society along ethnic lines. Regrettable, this move threatens to erode our progress in promoting unity, national integration, and equal opportunities for all Nigerians. Furthermore, it is crucial to recognize that property rights are vital to economic development and individual empowerment. The proposed bill undermines the principle of private ownership and could severely affect investment, economic growth, and overall prosperity in Lagos State. He further stated that by considering such legislation, the Speaker is sending a damaging message to local and international investors, discouraging their participation and confidence in the state's economy. It was a robust statement he posted on Twitter, Dr. Abati. I know, I saw that you were shocked when you heard the speaker actually make that comment. So yeah, Rufai, it's not AI. We have a lot of comments, but I want to take your comment first before I continue, because this has generated a lot of reactions on social media. It is, they have said, against our Nigerian constitution. I don't know how this law will pass anyway.
Well,
if they make
Road's Bible is right on all the points, and that is a statement. I read it. We still went on further and said, well, even while you are recognizing the rights of indigenes, the thing is for government to stop stealing people's property, to stop becoming a threat to property rights, and that, this is very regressive. And I think that many Nigerians agree on this score. Now, what is the function of the legislature? Let's zero in on the House of Assembly. Section 4, sub 7 of the 1999 Constitution says that the legislature, at the level of the House of Assembly, the same principle with regard to the National Assembly, shall make laws for peace, order, and good governance of Nigeria. The statement made by Speaker Obasa, I don't see how that promotes peace. I don't see how it promotes order. I don't see how it promotes good governance. And this is the whole point of Gbadebo Rosevivor's statement, that the House of Assembly of Lagos cannot be saying that. Two, it's provocative, because you recall, as your narrative pointed out, that during the just concluded elections, ethnicity was such a big problem in Lagos State, resulting in conflict in parts of Lagos between indigenes and other persons of other ethnic extraction, to an extent that indigenes were even carrying rituals all over the place and threatening non-indigenes to leave Lagos. Now, you can't have that. You can't have that, in a society. Now, going further, why did Mudashiru Obasa consider it necessary to reopen that matter?
This is the point.
He had been chosen by his colleagues for a third term as speaker. He should just thank them and talk like, somebody is interested in the national interest, in public interest, not to talk as a provincial person, dredging up antediluvian sentiments. Lagos belongs to Yorubas. Lagos is a no man's land. I thought that argument was part of the politics. He should not use the platform of the House of Assembly to play politics. That's not leadership. And this is what we say to public officials all the time. If you don't have something to say, something that will appeal to reasonable, right-thinking members of society, can you just shut up? Because vulnerability is not an asset in interacting with the public. And then the issues that he raised, those issues can in fact cause problem in Lagos State. I hope nobody goes ahead with that. Because the Constitution of Nigeria grants every Nigerian the right to own property.
Absolutely.
Section 43, movable and immovable in any part of Nigeria. The law is very specific. Section 44 says you can only affect those rights only as prescribed in this law. So you can't on your own just sit in the House of Assembly and say, we are removing your property rights. Section 42 says you cannot be discriminated against in this country on the basis of your ethnicity, religion, or anything. Our law frowns at discrimination. The threat to reverse whatever is irreversible because you are not a Yoruba person or you are not from Lagos, that is discriminatory. Land Use Act, which vests, section 1 of which vests ownership of land in the governor as a trustee, did not say if the governor of Lagos State is going to give out land, he should do so only to people of Lagos State or to only Yorubas. That section 1 is very clear. It says on Nigerians in any part of Nigeria. So I'm surprised because I understand Mr. Obasa, he's a lawyer, so maybe he's just playing to the gallery, but this kind of thing can cause conflict, can cause disorder.
Absolutely.
And all those provisions that we have read out, they are enforceable in law. Yeah. So why does he want to start his third term on a controversial note and on something that shows undue partisanship.
Yes,
that House of Assembly in Lagos State is for everybody in Lagos State. It's not for people. Where is that place you come from? You are from Central Lagos, right? Lagos Island. Olowo. Yeah, it's not only for people from Olowo alone or people from Iga.
Yes.
Iga, Idungoro, and all that. It's for all of us.
Absolutely.
From Central Lagos to Abule Egba and beyond. In fact, up to Alakuko.
Absolutely. Dr. Matias, you have quoted the Constitution. I was cracking up before I come to you. You're not the only one. People are even quoting the Constitution on Twitter. Let me take a tweet from Eric, who wrote, while the Lagos State House of Assembly, led by Obasa, has the power to make laws, such laws must be in line with the Constitution. The law will be declared unconstitutional before a court of competent jurisdiction as it violates relevant provisions of the Nigerian Constitution. Well, Sadiq wrote, they want to make tribal bigotry a law in Lagos. It will be against the Constitution and is another ploy to build a very tall fence between Yorubas and the people of any other tribe, instead of the Nigerian government to always preach and promote unity with intertribal marriages and more. They divide us more. I mean, this is what we are seeing here. I mean, I believe I even heard you earlier this morning, even praising the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know, with all of his speeches of unity and all of that. And we get to see this at this time of our polity. I mean, very unfortunate, really. Yes. Your comment.
Well, thank you, Dr. Batty, for ending on the note of where I'm from, because I'm proudly from Lagos State, yes, from Lagos Island.
You are the true Lagosian. You are not like some people.
You mean you are an indigene?
You are an indigene. Tell them.
But
some
then
people are
let's
not.
begin to define an indigene, because when we look at Lagos State, it's such a cosmopolitan city, and we've had people who've settled. In fact, some people would still challenge my indigenous, you know, my being an indigene, saying that if you trace back to centuries ago, we came from Sierra Leone and then we settled. So at the end of the day, I understand when people are a bit, you know, they take offense with Lagos's no man's land, but then aside from the legal aspect, which Dr. Batty has just dealt excellently with, as always, is the fact that how do you begin to define who is an indigene? How do you begin to, is it for how many years? How do you begin to separate people? Maybe, I mean, my mom is from Edo State. So would you say that I'm half an indigene, so I don't have as much access? Then is it just for Lagosians or for people from the western part of Nigeria? Because if you look in the house, you would see that it's spread across different people who've come into Lagos to settle. And then very importantly, like people have said, is the fact that we are on the path to healing and restoration. What we saw or witnessed in Lagos during the March elections is what we should never see again, is what politicians should never play to again. What we should be looking at is how to bring people together. One of the things about Lagos State as a center of excellence is the fact that people from around the world can come here and thrive and excel, and they contribute to the prosperity of Lagos State. Yes, Lagos is a no man's land, but the excellence and who built Lagos is not just indigenes. The people who've come around from around different parts of Nigeria have come in and they've invested in Lagos State to make it what it is. We must be truthful about that.
All right. Rufai, I know you've made some comments on this, just really quickly so we can move on.
I want to tell a story.
Okay.
And with this story, I'd like to pay tribute to Chief Shubomi Balogun. That is, I think he's been buried around this weekend. In the thick of the Civil War, a certain young Igbo architect who happens to be the first PhD holder in architecture in Nigeria had a home close to Shubomi Balogun's home. And when the war started, the Igbos had to go back. And Shubomi Balogun saw that squatters were coming into the home of this architect. And he chased away the squatters and he renovated the home. And he put somebody in there and he was collecting rent from her and keeping it for the person. He could have taken over the property because as at that point in time there was a war and the Igbos were being denigrated. But he kept the home. After the war, this architect, PhD holder in architecture, came back and he met Shubomi Balogun and he said, "Oh, that's your house. I kept the house for you." And while he was going, he said, "Please, wait." Then he went in and brought wads of money out and said, "This was the rent I got." And he said, "Thank you." That architect later became the vice president of this country, Chief Alex Ekweme. And that good turn deserves another. When it was time for Chief Shubemi Balogun to also get his own banking license, that same man was instrumental in getting his banking license. That's the kind of story Lagos is. All of this happened in Lagos. This is the Lagos I know. The Lagos of Chief Shubemi Balogun and Alex Ekweme. That where they came from did not matter, but the love and the unity that binds us together.
That is the point.
Today, both men are dead, but their story is the true example of Lagos. This Mudashiru Obasa's Lagos that he's talking about here, I don't know it.
You're all right.
This Lagos is a no man's land. When they talk, say Igbo people talk, Mona no vex. Which Igbo person talk this word? Can I see a video proof of when an Igbo man said Lagos is a no man's land? That word was first of all said by the former governor of Lagos State, Jack Conde, when he was trying to tell everybody that you are welcome. Welcome. Then they push that word, saying that Igbo people talk. And can they show me the Igbo person or one Igbo person? Give me a video evidence where one Igbo person has said that word. My people say double one lost now. Now earpiece in the wear. My elder brother says some people never get permission to trace, but the 1 year will by all means. This is a Lagos state that everybody has been here in peace until politicians got their problem during this last election. And now election is over. Lagos is trying to heal. They are trying to keep the fuel of the division going. A time is coming, if they don't caution this nonsense now, a time is coming where you go sick. They go carry the person go hospital. He go say na Igbo man. When he look the doctor wey wan treat am, na Yoruba man, fear go hold the sick. A time is coming where somebody will reach the hospital, they will say he needs surgery, and in some Oyo state, when he go hear who be the best doctor to carry out the surgery, the doctor is from Imo state, he go say I will rather just make the sickness just take me. That time is coming if we don't stop this nonsense now. Once you keep building this hate in the hearts of the next generation coming, e get where this hate go reach. E go pass case of who get land and who the answer see of who. If we don't agree now to live as a country, this wahala wey na dey fuel, e go pass wetin individual go fit solve. Let the presidency tackle this rubbish that they are trying to do in the House of Assembly now. Let the elite talk to themselves, let them talk to their children and teach everybody to live in peace. If not, this country that they call one Nigeria, very soon, if they call you a Nigerian, you go say no, I'm a Ghanaian. Watch.